Why would someone close to you do something to make you feel really small? It can be your partner, or a parent, or a close friend. If you have ever been in a relationship with a narcissistic person or were part of a narcissistic family system, you would have asked this question to yourself few times. When you're confident, self sufficient, and successful, you become a direct threat to the dominance and control of a narcissistic person. And this most likely trigger various abusive tactics actually. So, in this video, we will explore 5 of the most common strategies narcissists use to undermine our confidence. So, you can recognize these patterns and start protecting your well being. The very first pattern is undermining your achievements. When you share an accomplishment, no matter how big or small it is, a narcissist often responds with a dismissive phrase like, yeah, it's not a big deal, or anyone could have done that. And this is a form of devaluation designed to make you feel that your efforts are insignificant. On a neurobiological level, this dismissive response denies your brain the positive feedback and the dopamine it craves after that huge success, which can negatively impact your motivation and self-worth. From a sociological perspective, this is a calculated attempt to control the social narrative around you, ensuring that you don't receive that external praise or recognition that might empower you. You may have noticed in a family gathering, the moment someone praises you, the narcissistic person will either take the credit for your achievement or dismiss the compliment or immediately start talking about themselves to regain their position as the center of attention. The second pattern is comparing you unfavorably to others. This comparison can be with a sibling or a friend or even a complete stranger. They might say that, why can't you be more like that person? And this creates a constant feeling of competition and inadequacy, as they are essentially moving the goalpost so you can never fully win their approval and acceptance. From a sociological standpoint, this tactic weaponizes the social comparison. Social comparison is a concept first introduced by a psychologist called Leon Festinger, who proposed that as human beings, we have an innate need and drive to evaluate ourselves. When objective measures are not available, like knowing how fast you run without a stopwatch, we turn to people around us to figure out where we stand. Narcissistic people intentionally misuse this natural tendency by comparing you to others, using it not for self-improvement, but to deliberately undermine your worth and keep you in a constant state of self-doubt. And this manipulation ensures they remain the standard of perfection while you are perpetually left feeling inadequate. The third strategy is making you feel guilty for, setting boundaries. When you attempt to prioritize your own needs and establish a boundary, the narcissist often react with possibly rage, tears, or an immediate guilt trip. You hear phrases like, you're very selfish. How could you do this to me? Psychologically, this is a calculated attempt to sort of punish you for prioritizing yourself over them. On a neurobiological level, this response activates our brain's fear and guilt centers, conditioning us to associate boundaries with negative emotions. This is the narcissist's way of training you to be hesitant to set boundaries in future. This tactic systematically weakens your sense of personal autonomy and self-respect, and keeping you emotionally trapped and compliant to what narcissist demands. The fourth behavior is using subtle insults disguised as jokes. Narcissistic people often use humor as a weapon, delivering something very painful insult and then deflecting with a seemingly innocent statement like, "It was just a joke," or "I was just kidding." And this is a form of passive aggressive communication that allow them to deliver a direct insult while completely avoiding accountability. From a sociological perspective, this tactic works because our social norm often say that we should laugh along with the jokes even when they are hurtful. And this puts you in an impossible position of you either accept that you have no sense of humor or you just take the insult and laugh along. And this undermines your self-worth. This tactic leaves you questioning your own feelings and the foundational sense of self-respect. The fourth behavior is ignoring your opinion to make you feel insignificant. In a conversation with a narcissist, they often speak over you or change the subject when you're talking or simply not acknowledge your input. And this is a powerful form of invalidation, and it communicates that your thoughts, opinions, etc. are not important or worthy of their attention. This behavior disrupts the brain's dependency on social feedback for validation. And this will lead you to a deep sense of loneliness and insignificance. This tactic can cause you to stop sharing your thoughts and feelings altogether, which will only isolate you further and reinforce their control over your life. Recognizing these 5 tactics and understanding their impact on you is very important and I would say most significant step in reclaiming your confidence. And this is where the real work begins. To get started on your journey, here are 3 simple empowering actions you can take. The number 1 is validate your own voice. The narcissist tried to make your thoughts feel insignificant. So now it is time to rebuild that. You can take a journal or have a conversation with a trusted friend and practice articulating your thoughts and opinions without seeking their approval. And this will help you to reconnect with your own perspective and strengthens your inner voice. Second thing that you can try is observe their behavior. Your new superpower is awareness. Instead of reacting emotionally to an insult or a dismissal of achievement, simply observe that behavior. Notice what they did, how they are doing, and how they've made you feel. Journaling these observations help you to understand these patterns and slowly detach from their manipulation. And the third thing that you can do is, set a small boundary. Start with that. And this is an act of defense against the guilt and control you've been conditioned to accept. Choose just one small area where you want to set a boundary and practice enforcing it. It could be a very, very simple thing like, "I'm not available at this time," to an unreasonable request. Each small success helps you to rebuild your confidence and sense of autonomy. So that's all for today. I hope this episode was useful for you. If you find this video valuable, please let me know in the comments and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for being here. Take care.